Hello, this is Joe from Bombard Games, and this time I am here to give you a tutorial on the D12 dice variant of Spectrum. So in the original Spectrum, we played with D6 dice where only the primary colors were on the dice. Now we're going to change it all up. And the first change you're going to see, instead of using 2, 3, or 4 dice when we play with D6 Spectrum, with D12 Spectrum, we're going to play with 3, 4, and 5 dice. So when the game starts, you're going to start with 3 D12 dice, right? And let's give these a roll and see if we can get lucky and explain the 3 different types of rolls just by rolling them. So let's put them on the board here. This is the easiest way always to illustrate it. We got green, we got red, orange, and we got purple, blue. I'm sorry, purple, red. My mistake there. And you'll see just like the Spectrum dice, it's the first letters and the shade of the color. So you can see none of these dice are next to each other and none of them are the same. So much like Spectrum, we're going to pick our best two. For example, if I wanted, well, you're really going to want some primary since you have to enter on a primary. So it really wouldn't matter what the second one you picked is. You'd want to pick green and red, orange, and you have the same old rules. 2 movement points. Where you're going to use them, you can use them both in green. You can use them both in red, orange. You can use one in each. You must still enter in a primary color. So in this case, you only really have one move at the beginning of the game, which would be to take your 2 moves in green. Now, if we were later on in the game and you did have a pawn in red orange, then you would have, let's say this was actually later in the game, he's actually up here by now, and I chose these 2. I could either do 1 in green, 1 in red orange, right? Or the classic 2 in green, none in red orange, or 2 in red orange and none in green. Okay, we're just, how you want to use your 2 move is up to you. The dice is telling you where you can do it. All right, so that is the first kind of roll you could have. Let's give these a second roll and see if we can get lucky and pull out one of the second types of rolls. And we did. Okay. So now in this case, let's put them back out here. Green, green, blue, and red, orange. So here, if we choose these 2, we have what's known as a shaded roll. And the bonus for a shaded roll is that it's going to open up the colors on either side. And I'm just going to pull out a green marker for those. So instead of just being able to use our 2 moves in green or green-blue, it also allows us to use those moves in either yellow-green or straight blue. And I'm going to get these out of our way now. So again, let's assume we're a little further in the game here. We have somebody there. We don't have anybody there, but we have a blue guy here, right? So now our 2 movement points are 2 in green, right? Or 2 in green-blue, or 2 in blue, right? Or we could do something where we move blue to blue-green, or we could do something, well, this isn't so good, where we went like this, but we would not want to do it. If he was up here, we could do something where we went like this, right? Or if he was here, we could do something like this. Again, we just have the total of 2 moves. It's just what colors are open for movement. So in this case, it's going to be the 2 you rolled and the ones on either side, right? And again, this is summarized here. And then the last type of movement is the same as normal D6, which is when you roll doubles or a special roll, right? So in this case, if we were to roll, let's get some guys over here in the yellow area, as if we might be able to play with them. And in this case, I want somebody over here, and let's get somebody over here. So if we roll double yellows, right, we get the 2 moves in our original roll, which is 2 in yellow, and then we get our bonus of 2 in the bottom. Let's flip it, which is purple, or the colors, the shades on either side. Basically the same rules from original Spectrum, right? So we're allowed to move in any shade of purple and any shade of yellow, and we're getting the bonus 2 movement because we rolled doubles. So in this case, we're going to get a total of 4. The first 2 have to come in yellow because that was the color of roll. It's going to be the bonus 2 that you can decide where you want to take it. So let's say we were starting the board right here. First, for the doubles, I take my 2 in yellow, and now I have the bonus 2 movement, which is either 2 in purple, right? 2 in a shade of purple, 2 where a purple guy moves into his own shade, right? He's just moving from purple to blue purple. He's allowed to do that right now. The same over here where the 2 movement points, he could move this pawn again, but if he does, he must touch 2 colors, so he'd have to do something like this. But he could also move this this pawn up. So all these things are open to him right now. When he was thinking here originally, he could have done this kind of move. Again, it's how do you use your 2 moves plus your bonus 2 moves and what colors are open. It's the same basic rules. Everything's summarized here and in the rule book. It's a very small, detail of how the change is, but it's nothing foreign. Once you play probably 1 turn or 2 turns in the D12, you're going to pick it up just like it was D6. So a lot more interesting because all the colors on the dice. Remember, you still have to come in on the primary colors, and a little different how things open up, but essentially the same rules. And there are, of course, if you roll triples or quadruples, there's bonus moves for that as well. So that should give you a good idea of the tutorial for D12 as an overview. The thing I'll summarize to say with D12 is you can play all the variants, weights, missions, and portals. All of them can be played with the D12. Really, I mean, anything you can do with the D6, you can do with the D12. Little twist on the rules, but essentially all the variants are open, and that should give you a whole new board game to play once you're done playing with the D6. So I hope you'll give the D12 variants a try and the base D12 rules that we just went over. Let us know which ones are your favorite, and until next video, happy gaming.